guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to solve day 20 problem of this month on Leetcode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. So today I'm going to solve problem number 1605. Find valid matrix given row and column sums. Okay, so in this problem you are given two arrays, row sum and column sum of non-negative integers, where row sum of I is the sum of the elements in the ith row and colSum of j is the sum of the elements of the jth column of a 2D matrix. Okay, so in other words, you do not know the elements of the matrix, but you do know the sums of each row and column. Okay, so we have to find any matrix of non-negative integers of size row sum dot length and into column sum dot length that satisfy the row sum and column sum requirement. Okay, so see this example, row sum 3 8 given to us. Okay, so first we need to create a matrix, okay, of row sum in dot length into column sum dot length. Okay, so what is the length of this row sum? 2, and what is the length of this column sum? 2, right? So let's create one matrix. Okay, so here I have created one matrix. Okay, so this is matrix. Okay, and this is nothing but my zeroth row, first row, zeroth column, my first column. Okay, so now it is saying that first row sum is 3, first row sum is 3, second row sum is 8. Okay, this is my requirement, right? And first column sum is 4. Okay, so this column sum is going to be 4 and this column sum is going to be 7. Okay, so we have to create a matrix such that all these conditions are satisfied. Okay, so here see, if I just put 3 here I just put 0, here I put 1, and here I put 7. Okay, so you will find that this row sum is 3, this row sum is 8. Okay, so these two conditions satisfied. This column sum is 4. Okay, and this column sum is 7. Okay, so all these conditions are met. Okay, so this is what we need return. Okay, what we need to return here in this example. Okay, so I hope that you guys are clear of what we are doing here, right? So this is nothing but my example number 2. Okay, so here this is row sum given to us and this is column sum given to us. Okay, so row sum length is total 3, right? And my column sum length is 3. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating 3 into 3 matrix. Okay, 3 into 3 matrix, and initially I set all the elements to 0. Okay, initially all the elements are 0, and now let me write the indexes as well. So this is nothing but 0th index, this is 1 index, this is 2 index, this is 0th index, 1 index, 2 index, right? So initially what I'm going to do, I'm going to set my I to this point and my j to this point. Okay, so here initially we have to find what is the minimum between these two values. Okay, minimum between row sum of I and column sum of j. So minimum between them is nothing but 5 here. Okay, so 5 is the minimum, so I am going to set matrix of 0 by 0 to 5. Okay, so I am just directly going to use 5 here. Okay, I have directly added 5 at this position. Okay, now after using this 5, then my row sum will be decremented to 0 now. I have already used 5, so my 5 minus 5 will become 0, and here also my column sum will be decremented to 3. Okay, 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. Okay, so let me just erase it. Okay, and let me write it. So here this will become 0 and here this will become 3. Okay, now after that, as soon as my row sum will become 0, okay, so definitely I don't need to fill these values, right? My row sum already becomes 0 now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to increment my I. So now my I is going to move further. Now my I reaches at this position. Okay, so now here at this position we have to find what is the minimum between row sum of I and row sum of j. So minimum between them is nothing but this 3. Okay, so now in my matrix this I is at index 1 and j is at index 0. Okay, so I have to operate this with nothing but minimum. So minimum between them is 3. Okay, so let's update it. So here this value will become equal to 3. Okay, so I have updated this part. Now after updating this part, so definitely my column sum will be decremented to 0 now, because right, 5 3 8, so total we need here 8 only na in the first step column sum. So now it becomes 8, so I have to decrement this to 0. Okay, so here I have decremented this to 0. Okay, and again here 7 minus 3, it will become 4. Okay, so now as soon as my column sum becomes 0, I am going to increment my j to the next position. So now my j is going to move to this position. Okay, okay, this is done. Now see here, again we have to find the minimum between them. So minimum between them is 4. Okay, and I is at 1 and j is also at 1. Okay, j is also at 1. So I have to update matrix of 101 by 4. Okay, so here I am just going to update it to 4. So let me just update it to 4, and here this will become 0, and 6 minus 4, this will become 2, and as soon as this becomes 0, I have to increment my I to the next position. So now my I reaches to this position. Okay, this is done. Now again we have to check. So here between 2 and 10, which is minimum, this 2 is minimum, right? And my here, so I have to operate m2, and this is 1 with 2. Okay, m2 1, m2 1, so I have to update this with 2. Okay, so let me update it, this part I have to update it with 2. Okay, so now after updating it with 2, my column sum here will become 0, and here my row sum will be decremented to 8. Okay, this is done. Now after that, since this becomes 0 now, this part, so my a is going to move further. So now my j reaches at this position. Okay, now again here I have to find the minimum. So minimum between them is 8 only. So here m2 2. Okay, this I have to set it with 8. Okay, this is done. So now let's update it in my matrix. Okay, I have set it to 8. Okay, so now this value will be decremented to 0, and this value will be decremented to 0. Okay, after that both set to 0, so my I is going to reach at this position and my j is going to reach this at this position. So I have to stop now, and I have to return this final matrix. So now let me just copy this example again. In the first row we need sum as 5. Okay, it is 5, right? In the second row we need sum as 7, so it is 7. Okay, we are good. In the next row we need sum as 10, it is 10, so we are good. In the first column we need sum as 8, it is 8, we are good. In the next column we need sum as 6, so it is 6, so we are good. In the next column we need sum as 8, so it is 8, so we are good. Okay, so this is how we are going to solve this problem, right? So easy. So now let's move to the coding part. So first thing that we have to do here, we have to create one matrix of row sum dot length into column sum dot length, right? 3 into 3. So let's do that. So first let's calculate the length. After that we have to create one matrix. So let's create one 2D matrix. Let's name it as matrix new int, and here just pass an m. Okay, that's it. So we have created the matrix. Then after that we have to run one loop. So while my I is less than my n and my j is less than my m. Okay, so this is what we are doing, right? And inside this, first we have to find the minimum value. Okay, so first let's set this I and j both to 0. So here let me set that. So int I is equal to 0. Code is going to be very small for this problem. Okay, j I am going to set it to 0. Okay, now here inside this, first I have to find the minimum value. Okay, so here I am creating one min variable, and in this I am going to store the minimum math.min, and here I have to just write row sum of I, and here call sum of j. Okay, after finding this minimum value, I have to update this value in my matrix. Okay, so matrix of I j is equal to min val. Okay, so this is what we are doing right here, calculating the minimum, and then I am setting it here in the matrix. Okay, then after setting it, I have to subtract the value from row sum and column sum. Okay, so I have to update my row sum as row sum of I as row sum of I minus is equal to here what is my min value. Okay, min val. Same way I have to update my colSum of j minus is equal to min val. Okay, this is done. Then as soon as my row sum of I becomes equal to 0, I have to increment I. Okay, if my column sum of j becomes equal to 0, then I have to just increment j. Okay, this is what we are doing right in the code. That's it. And in the end, we have to just return the matrix. That's it. Just few lines of code, right? Okay, so now let's try to run it and see if there are any code issues. So all the test cases has been accepted. Now let's submit it. So see, our solution is accepted, right? And the time complexity for this problem is nothing but of n plus m, right? So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem. If you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.